Okay, so I'll do the outside stuff while it's still light out. This is by the front door. And this hose is now connected to the onions. The only things you really need to water by hand, and I'll take you out here, it's going to be just filling that up. We have the little pond over there. If it gets to be too much to take care of the pond, you can just dump it. It doesn't have to be. I've just been doing it for the wildlife and also just giving Chula a second place to get water when she's wandering the yard. But if you don't mind carrying a bucket to continue to water our little oak tree here. This bucket's starting to fall apart, so we just take another bucket and dump water into that one, and there's holes at the bottom so it'll slowly water it. And I think our little flame vines may not have survived the summer, but if you could fill that bucket, and then over here, this one, to at least give them a chance in case they're just dormant because of the heat. And then as far as monitoring Chula's going to the bathroom, it's going to be hard. If you happen to be here and she goes outside, just watch her. Although sometimes she won't go potty if she thinks you're watching. But sometimes she does. It just depends on how desperate she is. And if you do get to see her potty, some things we're watching out for, like straining or blood in the stools. But straining's really the big one. And then if you can take a peek at the stool itself, if you see her do it, and just make sure that it doesn't look pencil thin or have blood. If it looks pencil thin or has blood, let us know. And then out here, oh, let me turn on the water and then I can show you those. And I've just been turning on the green hose, which turns into the blue hose and is really long and nice. And then pretty much all of the plants here in this area will need to have water from time to time. So right now I left it on the bananas just because these guys are pretty thirsty. And then I usually water the hibiscus until I see it coming out the bottom. And then just make sure the water isn't too hot. And this one it's already cooled down. Our normal watering days are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And it looks like they have mealybugs. So we just need to get this guy not so stressed out. Just you see when you start to see the water flowing there, then I move it to another location. And then just water the pots as you normally would. So this one, and I'll go quickly and come back and water later. This one. Now these are all purslane, so they don't need as much water, so you can maybe water them once or twice while we're gone and they should be okay. I'm watering everybody today so that way they get a nice good soak. Same thing with this pot of purslane. Most of what is still out here is different purslanes or native plants. The only ones that aren't native, well, these are still all like natives in here. It's going to be this pot over here, the blue pot, and that's going to be basil babies, and they're volunteer basil. This one is mostly petunias, purslane, and some, I think they call that ice plant. And then this one is also a basil baby. This one's a basil baby with some ice plant. There's some ice plant. At least I think that's what it is. I might be wrong. That's a succulent, so it doesn't need as much. There's another little basil. And then this is our little bee water, so I always give that one a little squirt. And then just let the water run on these. Now the cactus should be okay. I just gave it a good water about 3 days ago. I think Bren was watering them too much, so I don't know if they're yellow because they're dry or they're yellow because they got too much water. But I would leave it here for a while and then also over here just from time to time. Now these plants are looking really, really sad, but they are natives. So I don't anticipate they'll die. They're just gonna look really droopy and sad. And let me drop this here. The basil is not native, so it will need a little extra water. The one that we have on the hose are the onions right here. So that's what's on a timer for like 20 minutes in the morning, and that's fine because this will overflow. It only takes like 3 minutes to fill. And then this whole garden here, we're just letting it go. So if you see anything you want to eat off of it, you're welcome to it. It's cucumbers and tomatoes mostly with some green beans, some mouse melon. But we're just gonna let this kind of go and dry up so we can start over when we get back. Over here we have some mystery plant that looks like it could be cucumber or melon or squash, and then some cowpea vine. Again, this is not being watered while we're gone. It doesn't have to be watered. We're letting it go. This is the one that's by the mesquite tree. And then over here, we have this water dish for the far cats, and then this is where you would give their food. And then we also have this water dish over here. And the nice thing about the blue hose is it will go all the way out here. So actually, let me grab it so we can change that water because it looks like it's gotten disgusting. The birds are loving having the water, that water bin. So it gets pretty disgusting because they like to poop, as birds do. Well, sometimes it gets stuck. Of course. So yeah, sometimes it might need a little bit of help, especially since it seems to be entwined with the yellow hose right now. But anyways, you get the gist. I'll go do that and then I'll get back for the front gardens.